They had just pulled up a railroad track. A train horn was getting closer in the distance. 4 of them immediately stood up, trying hard to move the track out of the way, but they couldn't lock it in place. If the train came, it would derail. They rushed toward the train trying to stop it, but the train never slowed down, because this track had already been abandoned for years. The 4 of them barely escaped danger. They dragged the track to a scrapyard, sold it for $3.30, then used that money to trade for high-strength steel. Everything they did was for the idea of building a rocket. This is a true story. Hong Mo lives in a closed small town. The town depends on coal mining. That's why it is called Coal Forest. Everyone's life revolves around the mine. They can hear broadcasts from outside, but once they enter the mine, the signal disappears. Then they go underground to work in darkness. Only headlamps light the tunnels. After years of mining, resources became scarce. The higher-ups ordered half the workers to be laid off. Hong Mo's father was the mine supervisor. He had saved many miners before, but he was very strict at work. He often got angry inside the mine, demanding strict safety rules, or accidents would happen. Hong Mo grew up in this environment. At that time, the US and Soviet Union were in a space race. Soviet satellites crossed the night sky, and people became interested in space. Hong Mo was one of them. He decided to build a rocket. His family did not support it. His brother thought it was nonsense. His mother worried he would get hurt. His father stayed silent, but Hong Mo still started. He gathered materials with 2 friends, and used fireworks powder to build a rocket. The first test exploded immediately. It even broke the yard fence. But he did not stop. He started looking for someone who knew rockets. There was a student named Kun who knew the most. Others warned him to stay away from Kun, but he still sat next to him. Everyone was surprised, but he only cared about asking rocket questions. Kun was cold at first, but still explained some basics, including rocket principles and history. Hong Mo got a simple design plan. They started assembling rockets in a basement. The school thought it was dangerous, almost treated it like a weapon. A teacher stepped in and saved the project. The teacher said they could join a science fair and win a scholarship if they succeeded. Leaving the town was many people's dream. Hong Mo took that chance seriously, but the teacher warned his math was too weak, and he could not complete the rocket project easily. Hong Mo did not give up. He kept studying the structure. The first official launch failed. The rocket flew toward his father's office. His father got angry on the spot. He publicly scolded him, and warned him not to touch mine equipment again. Hong Mo felt a lot of pressure, but still kept working. He and his friends kept improving the rocket. The second test also failed. The rocket went off course. A retired pilot pointed out the issue, saying the nozzle material could not handle heat. It needed stronger material. They had no money to buy it, so they decided to sell railroad tracks. The 4 of them pulled up the tracks. They only got a small amount of money, but finally bought the material. The pilot also taught them welding. After that, they still failed many tests. Someone said the problem was fuel. There were air bubbles inside the fuel. They needed a new binding material. Hong Mo thought of using alcohol. They bought alcohol through a friend. A new fuel was made, but before the next test, many people came to watch, including his brother, who came to mock them. The pressure was huge. The teacher told him he did not need to prove anything. He just needed to finish his goal. Hong Mo lit the ignition. The countdown began. The rocket finally launched successfully. It was their first real success. The rocket landed but did not explode. The team finally had results. The teacher gained more confidence in them, but the town still doubted them. The science fair was getting closer. Some people started to lose faith. Some wanted to quit. Hong Mo kept going. He kept learning math, and kept improving the rocket. They slowly reached competition level. They kept working in the school lab. Friends joined the testing. The basement became a workshop. The rocket structure gradually formed. The teacher supported their science fair entry. Other students thought they would fail. Many saw it as a toy project. The first official test launch began. The rocket veered off course, and crashed into a factory area. His father saw the wreckage in the office, and immediately scolded him, demanding he stop dangerous actions. Their father-son relationship worsened. Back home, all materials were cleared. Tools were thrown away. The team came to a halt. Friends began to lose confidence, thinking it was impossible. But Hong Mo insisted on continuing. They reanalyzed the failures. They found the nozzle was too weak. They needed stronger steel, so they looked for alternatives. They thought of abandoned railroad tracks. They went again to dismantle tracks, sold them for money, and bought steel. The rocket structure was upgraded. The retired pilot joined as an advisor, teaching welding and structural improvements. Rocket performance gradually improved, but later tests still failed. The rocket exploded or went off course. They kept analyzing data. They found bubbles in the fuel. The bubbles caused unstable burning. The fuel formula had to be changed. They improved the fuel design, experimenting with alcohol mixtures. The town started paying attention. More people came to watch tests. The pressure kept increasing. The first public launch happened. Families and classmates were there. The rocket launched successfully, but still landed in failure. They kept improving. The teacher kept encouraging them, saying they could still enter higher competitions. The science fair opportunity was close. Winning meant a scholarship. Leaving the town was possible. The school also started paying attention, but some still doubted them, saying they could never escape the mining town. The team kept refining the design, doing more and more tests. Failures kept happening, but the rocket slowly matured. They were close to a working solution. The team entered a critical stage. The pressure in the town kept growing. The rocket experiments became the center of attention. Every test had a crowd. Even his brother came to mock them. The teacher still supported them, telling him not to prove anything to anyone. Just focus on the goal. Before launch, everyone gathered. The atmosphere became very tense. Everyone was waiting. The countdown started. The rocket ignited and lifted off. Everyone stared at the sky. It flew steadily away. But eventually it landed. This time it was better than before. The team finally saw hope. They kept adjusting the system, fine-tuning parameters, trying to fix the final issues. Hong Mo started learning advanced knowledge, math and physics together. He began to understand the design principles. The retired pilot kept helping them, pointing out detailed issues. The fuel system was improved again. Stability kept increasing. The school prepared for the science fair. The teacher helped them register. Everyone started expecting results. The night before the fair they kept preparing, checking every piece of equipment, making sure nothing would fail. Family situations also changed. His father's factory faced strike pressure. Tension grew in the mining community. His father was busy handling issues. The home atmosphere stayed tense. Hong Mo still stuck to his rocket plan, not affected by family pressure. On the day of the science fair they set out. They brought the rocket to the venue. They saw many high-level projects. Other teams had better equipment. They looked very ordinary. People did not believe in them. Some even mocked them directly. Hong Mo and his friends kept preparing, adjusting the launch system, doing final checks. There was a long wait before their turn. They stayed on the side. Judges inspected each project. When it was their turn they were questioned closely. They explained the rocket design and the fuel system. The judges took notes, but still doubted its feasibility. The launch demonstration began. They placed the rocket on the launcher. The whole crowd watched. Hong Mo handled the final ignition. The countdown started. Everyone held their breath. The rocket ignited successfully. It rose steadily into the sky. The crowd went quiet. It kept climbing higher. It reached the expected trajectory and completed the flight test. Applause began in the venue. Judges discussed the final result. Everyone waited for the announcement. The atmosphere was extremely tense. The result was finally announced. They won first place. The crowd exploded in reaction. Cheers and applause filled the room. They had won the competition and received scholarship opportunities. University representatives contacted them, telling them they could enroll directly. They could finally leave the town and enter a bigger world. Hong Mo saw his teacher in the crowd. The teacher acknowledged them, saying they had changed the future and changed how people saw them. But his father was still not there. After the event he returned to the mine town. He told his father the result. His father was still busy working. He only replied briefly. They separated quickly. Hong Mo left calmly. There was no argument. Their relationship remained complicated. Only a deeper silence remained. Then they prepared to leave, packing equipment and materials, finishing all experiment records. The three friends made different choices. Some went to college. Some started working. Some moved to different cities. Each went in a new direction. Hong Mo continued toward aerospace, entering higher education. Years later their lives diverged. The team slowly broke apart. Contact became less frequent, but the experience remained, a shared memory among them, an important part of life. The coal mine town eventually closed. Resources ran out. Many people left. The town became quiet. The old way of life disappeared. Hong Mo also left completely, entering the outside world. He eventually became an aerospace engineer, working in the real aerospace field. He achieved his original goal. He completed his dream. He left the closed town behind and entered a wider world.